Weekly, GarageBand, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly. Ooh. Need an answer to your question? John, you'll have a suggestion. He's a fountain of all knowledge. I think he might have gone to GarageBand College. What he doesn't know, we'll try and find out. So join the chat and give him a shout. Hey, John. Hey, John. GarageBand Weekly.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome into GarageBand Weekly for another week. On the show today, we talk about Apple's brand new AppleCare 1. How does it differ from AppleCare Plus? Do you even need it? We're going to tackle that today. I'm going to answer your questions about GarageBand. We're going to play your 8-bar challenge songs that you've submitted over on slaps.com. And as always, we are going to jump in and talk about the latest news and notes in the world of technology. Hello, welcome aboard. If you are new to GarageBand or you're new to the channel, check out all the links down in the description. We've got links to my GarageBand FAQ. In fact, if you go to studiolivetoday.com/GarageBand, you can check out everything that I have, all of the links to all of the things. They're all right there at studiolivetoday.com/GarageBand. My GarageBand 5-minute tips, all of my GarageBand essential videos, links to the Facebook group, you name it, it is there, and as well as links to all the frequently asked questions. How do you make sure that 24-bit audio is enabled? You want to do that. You want to get the best sound out of your GarageBand and a whole lot more. studiolivetoday.com/GarageBand. Welcome aboard. If you're here live and you've got questions, all I need you to do is put a big Q in front of your question. That will make sure I'm aware that you have a question, and we will answer that as we go through the show. Had a great Your Music Live yesterday for those that were on the show, and today we're talking about Apple and GarageBand and everything in between. First up, finally, the public beta, the version that's you know what I mean. The beta version of iPadOS 26, of macOS 26, of iOS 26, all the 26s are now available for you. So whether you are part of the development program or not, you can actually now jump in and check it out, as you can see here on Mac Observer. In fact, let's go to the Apple website. That's a little cleaner. Apple don't put all the ads over there. Apple have enough of our money. So you can join the Apple beta program if you're not part of the developer program. All you need to do is sign in with your Apple account, sign up for the beta program, and then you can jump in to your iPad and you can switch it on. Now, I can't actually show you how to do it because I'm actually part of the developer program, and you can't be part of the developer program and the beta program at the same time. So if you don't already have this option here for beta updates in your iPadOS or iOS, you can actually sign up for the beta program, and you too can have the iPadOS 26 development beta. Now, why do I have this off? Well, because this is my daily driver. This is the machine I use to make tutorials, to make music, to do everything you see here on the channel, to run my GarageBand, to run my LumaFusion and my Logic Pro. So I don't update. And let me just tell you what I tell you every single time we talk about this stuff. Friends do not let friends update their iPadOS or iOS to a beta version if they're in the middle of something important. So if you are creating a song, if you're working on a video, if you're doing a big project, or if you just want to make sure that there's no interruptions to your daily routine, do not update. There is nothing particularly cool and new in the beta version. It's just a bit shinier and has the windowing. I'll show you a little bit of it later because we're jumping in, because you know what I'm doing is on my other iPad, my non-daily driver, I am updating right now to the development beta 4, which is almost identical to the public beta. So if you've got any questions about it, you can ask those. As Thomas Christ says, yes, don't do the beta unless you've got a second device to do it on. You don't want to do it on your primary device. Hello to Thomas Christ. Hello to Jade Star, by the way. G'day to Marky Bro. We got Michael, aka Zland Band. Hello, Denise. Hope you are doing well today. We've got Al Davis Music here as well. Thank you all for being here. We did have a question about GarageBand yesterday from someone, and I've forgotten what it was. So if anyone remembers what that was during Your Music Live, I think Thomas kindly and politely said to them, come back over tomorrow because we do GarageBand Weekly. So if you remember, Thomas, let me know and I'll answer on their behalf as well. G'day to Sean Chandler as well of the Chandler Brothers. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Do you and Patrick get sick of being, like, every time someone says hello to you, they're like, it's Sean Chandler of the Chandler Brothers? Like, if I had the Johns Brothers, if me and my brother had a band, would you go, hey, it's Pete Johns of the Johns Brothers band? Maybe. Oh, I'm getting the hello. Oh, the hello popped up in, it's not doing so well with the screen, but it popped up in nice bubbly liquid glass letters when it said hello to me. Maybe I'll show you that a little later. I'll leave it sitting there. In fact, I'll turn it off so that we can see the hello again together in a moment. Let's us talk about some news, some other news and notes that are happening in the world. So, all around the world right now, age verification is a hot topic. And as always, here in Australia, we're trying to lead the world in this. I don't know. Is it a good thing to be leading the world? So Australia is not only going through a process at the moment where we're trying to work out, and when I say we, I mean the government, are putting in place minimum age restrictions for social media. So in Australia, you are going to need to be, it's changed so many times, I forgot what the latest is. I think you have to be over 15, 16 or 17 or something, or you have to get parental permission. Here's the deal. Here's the problem. As per the article that I've linked in the description below from The Guardian here, age verification is coming to search engines in Australia with huge implications for privacy and inclusion. And it's a really good article. The Guardian do some good journalism. So go and check out and read the article. It's all facts. But yeah, it won't just be social media platforms that have to find a way to verify how old we are. It'll be search engines. So can you imagine going to Google and trying to search for something and it's saying, I'm sorry, Peter, you need to log into an account and then provide government ID to verify your age before we can give you this information. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't love the idea of every single tech giant billionaire company having my government ID. And I get it. And here's the thing. It's all around the protection. Won't somebody please think of the children? But the internet has kind of moved past that. And look, if you want to be really cynical and skeptical about this, kids will find a way around this. Kids are way smarter than the grown-up politicians trying to make these laws. Does it mean you should just let everyone run rampant? No. I don't actually have an answer. I don't have this is the problem. The reason that this has been talked about for a decade and nothing's been done about it, with social media age restrictions, with social media age verifications, with search engine age verifications, with the restriction to particular adult websites, is it's almost impossible to do. And where it is possible to do, it has significant impacts and breaches the rights and the freedoms of actual adults that just want to do things that consenting adults want to do. They want to search for things that adults want to search for. And it has also ramifications into the inclusion of minorities, people in the LGBTQIA+, because a lot of what people and a lot of what the websites and the social media and the search engines are considering adult content is, guess what? Yeah, related to sexuality. So that's a concern as well. How's this going to impact us and music creation? Well, it's a flow-on effect, isn't it? It's the fact that the more of this stuff that needs your information and needs your data, how much of your data is out there already? And do you really want that to be available to be sold off onto third parties? It's already a problem. You know this. You know this because you go onto Facebook after you've been searching for something and then you get ads for that thing. That's because your data's being sold. Now, what if that data could also include information from your government ID so it knows everything about you? It's not going to work, is it? So as usual, best of intentions, but yeah, worst of implementation. Age verification, search engine Australia. There you go. There's the article. It is not good. It's killing a fly with a 25-pound hammer. And this is the thing. So far, what has the tech industry done for things like alcohol and tobacco and other sites? Are you over 18? Please put your date of birth in. So if as long as the kid can, count to 18, they can work, or 21, depending where you are. That's the other thing. 18 in some places, 21. I find it baffling that in some states in the US, you can drive a car at 15 and you can't drink a beer till you're 21. And you can vote when you're 18. What is going on with that? And you can walk in and buy a rifle at age 18 as well. Anyway, this is the sort of stuff that's impacting us in the world of technology. And all of this stuff is just going to make it harder for people like app developers, for software engineers, for the people that are making these websites and these great services that we use, because where does it cut off? Is slaps.com... Does that need age verification? You might think this has got nothing to do with music, Pete, but what about DistroKid? What about slaps.com? What about SoundCloud? What about YouTube? These are all going to be flow-on effects and implications of these changes. And they're coming to a country and state near you. If you think, poor backward Australia, yeah, they're coming for you too. You can go to war, but you can't buy a beer. Exactly. It's a little bit insane. All right. This one I thought was interesting from a technology point of view. I tried to go to one article, and the irony of this is it said, you need to subscribe to this newspaper to get that article. And I just put in the headline and went to another one. I'm like, yes, your medium is dying. But I found this one interesting because a lot of the, we've seen this recently with big AI, with Daniel Ek investing in AI warfare, of all things. So again, the relationship here to music is that hedge funds kind of own the world. Hedge funds invest in all of the technology that we all use, and they are the ones who are bumping up the prices of all of the shares of these tech giants. They're the ones that are creating the billionaires. But the problem is, it's all speculation. It's all artificial. And we're starting to see cracks in the armor here. So there's an interesting article you'll find down in the description that Goldman Sachs, who are in the know with this sort of stuff, have said that what a lot of hedge funds are now doing, if you don't know what hedge funds are, they are big capital organizations. They have a lot of money, they get a lot of investment, a lot of investors in, and their job is to basically hedge their bets, hence the name hedge funds. So they invest in a bunch of different things so that if line go up anywhere, they kind of win. So think about betting on two different horses, but getting a better price on one so that if the other one wins, you still win. It's that same sort of hedging your bets. So what are they doing? Well, they're reducing their buy-in to tech stocks and they're increasing staples. So essential stuff, which, as you and I know, the price of these sort of things is going up. So they're investing in food companies, they're investing in essentials companies, they're investing in commodities as opposed to tech. And I just found this really interesting because we've seen this big growth in recent times of tech stocks. And it's at the point now where a lot of tech companies, including the likes of, Apple and Google and Alphabet and Meta and X and all these companies, are at about 4 to 5 times market value of the actual value they're delivering. So if you think about that, this is all just made up money. So if you think of the share price of a big tech company of being $100, they're probably delivering about a $15 or $20 value. If they were a bank, or if they were a food company, or if they were making sneakers, if they were Nike, they wouldn't be valued that, because you'd look at, here's the retail margins, here's what they're actually making, and here's what's left over. But what happens with tech stocks is they invest in them, and then more people invest because they're like, this could make money, this could have growth, and that's what bumps up the price. So we're starting to see, and this is good news for someone like me that doesn't love where late stage capitalism has taken us. This is kind of good news, because things like cryptocurrency and things like tech investments are based on thin air. They're based on the concept of potential future growth. And what we're seeing is that growth is coming down because there's so many people, so much tech, so many startups, so many incubators, that it's diluting the pool and they're starting to come back down. So to me, That's a good thing. If you're an investor in hedge funds, if you've got a big managed fund and you're hoping that you're going to double your money because your hedge fund's investing in tech, well, they're probably not going to. They're probably investing in corn and wheat and oil. Now, let's have a drink. Hello, Rena here. I think my supermarket check stands just have a button that clicks if someone of age buys alcohol that says old. And that's the joke, isn't it? We're relying on the judgment of people, just going, oh yeah, I eyeball you. And I think we've got things here in Australia that say, if you look under the age of 35, we're going to ID you. And I'm like, nah, you don't. I see the people that come in and out. And it's like you basically have to be wearing a school uniform holding a lollipop before they'll card you when you're buying alcohol in Australia. Because, yeah, we just do what we do. Hello, adorable Anarchy. Hope you're doing well. That's probably them saying they have no idea what markets are going to do, but they have to buy food right. That's exactly it. Yes, your soybean futures, all that sort of stuff. And that's exactly it, because a lot of this is related to, again, things like tariffs, things like the uncertainties of political climates, things like the age verification stuff that could have significant impacts on this. And right here, right now, there's probably someone. So you might be aware that there's the COPA, the Children's Online Protection Act, that and it changed a lot of things with YouTube. So a lot of YouTube channels that were targeting, catering to young viewers, those under the age of 13, they got all their ads turned off. So there were channels that were making literally millions and squillions, and they got their channels basically demonetized overnight because COPPA came in and said, yeah, no, we can't advertise to children anymore. What did the children do? Well, they all just got their parents' accounts and kept doing it. But it was the channels that actually suffered. Now, what this is going to do is potentially impact that 13 to 17. So there are some of you watching right now who are 13 to 17. We've got 14 and 15 and 16 and 17-year-olds making great music and sharing their music. Now, should they have exactly the same access to everything on the internet that everyone does? No. Hopefully they have some parents, and hopefully those parents or guardians or people looking after them are actually teaching them what to do and not do online. Should it be government, though, that step in and say, you can't do this? And if you draw that conclusion across, yeah, this could be, because I mark this as not made for children, you could by definition say that 13, 17-year-olds should not be watching this. Yet I know, because I get emails from teachers in elementary schools and middle schools and high schools saying, hey, your videos are really handy. You keep things clean and they're really appropriate, and we use them in our classroom. So I played your GarageBand tutorial in the class and kids are using it on their iPads. And that's cool. But that's the sort of stuff that could go away. That's the unintended consequence that's directly related to me and to you and to all the things we do. Because if you limit what is considered adult content, then you have to really clearly identify what adult content means. And guess what? It's subjective. Like most things in the world, it's subjective, and it depends where you are and who you ask as to what is adult content and what is significantly okay for children. Mentally 13. Oh, sometimes I'm mentally 13. Yeah, that's why we have the YouTube Kids. Exactly. There is YouTube Kids. And funnily enough, did you know that in the schoolyard, YouTube Kids, so in elementary school, YouTube Kids is like an insult. If you watch YouTube Kids, you're not cool. And funnily enough, as you go up into high school or middle school in some parts, YouTube Shorts is the same. That's the insult. So if you want to insult someone who's 13, just say, go home and watch YouTube Shorts, because that means you're too young and immature because you can't handle TikTok and Snapchat and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. The only thing that matters is bacon, or in my case, fakin. Yes, I agree with fakin. The fakin is actually pretty good these days. It's not bad at all. Righty. Let us continue on. Is that all the news and notes we had? Yeah, that's all we got. I was going to talk about tariffs, but I'm not going to. I removed it. It said, do you want this article? Oh, all right, we'll touch on it really quickly. The big AI bill, that was passed in the US. This is scary. That's all I'll say. No, it's if you didn't see, it was the enabling AI to basically do whatever they want. So all the AI companies have been saying for ages, we want the ability to scrape all data, to scrape all content, and then to use it in any way we want to without repercussion and without having to pay for it. And a bill was put in place, an executive order or whatever, however it works in the United States, to say, yeah, go for it, go your hardest, yeah, let's make it. And again, I won't get into my whole problem with nationalism and all the rest of it, but it basically is saying we want America to lead the world in AI. And it's like, why? Why not just let everyone who's good do it? And so what you're basically saying is let's remove all the guardrails, all the regulation, and anything that's in the way of American companies making the best AI. And it's because some of the AIs coming out of China and coming out of other parts of Europe are as good, if not better, with lower power consumption. So, yeah, the US have come out and said, nah, burn, baby, burn and churn. Do it now, ask questions later, ask for permission, not forgiveness. Move fast and break things. And I don't know if you've seen AI lately, but whenever that happens, whenever AI companies move too fast, we get told that you should glue your cheese on your pizza with super glue. We get told that to get iron in your diet, you should eat rocks. We get Mecha Hitler coming on and telling you about things that didn't happen in the past. So, yeah, it's a concern. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about more Apple stuff. Yes, if you do have any questions, put a Q. I still can't remember what the question that CGW had yesterday. It was GarageBand relevant, but if you're around or if you're on the replay, CGW, you asked a question yesterday. I forgot what it is. Shall we talk about... let's jump in and talk about this next topic, which is AppleCare One. Yeah. So if you didn't know... AppleCare, let's jump over to the AppleCare website and see what it's all about. So when you buy a new Apple device, you get I think 7 days or 14 days of AppleCare, and then they say to you, if you'd like to pay, we will give you AppleCare Plus, and you can pay per device for free technical support, hardware support, software support, and replacement and fixing. So AppleCare is like an insurance policy, but for your gear. And for the longest time, I've advised it this way. If you buy products for your children, get AppleCare Plus. Because children do not treat their devices the way that I would treat my devices. If you are particularly mobile and you're using your iPhone or iPad or Apple Watch or AirPods out and about a lot, get AppleCare Plus. If you are a grown-ass adult that knows how to look after your devices, that puts a screen protector on your phone and your iPad, that keeps everything in a case, that doesn't just walk around throwing your devices against walls or dropping them on the ground all the time, you probably don't need AppleCare Plus. However, there's a new offering starting on the 24th of July. Apple are going to launch in the US first, so it's not available anywhere but the US. They're going to launch AppleCare One, and it's going to be $19.99 per month. But here's the thing. You're going to be able to get 3 devices. So any 3 Apple devices. So for me, I would say I'd go my iPhone because I've got an iPhone 16. That's pretty expensive and costs a lot to repair. I've got my Mac Studio that I'm using right now, and my MacBook Pro. And then you can add additional devices as well for $5.99 a month. So I might even go, plus I also want to add my iPad. So for someone like me, given that it's my business, it's my livelihood, given that it's a tax-deductible business expense, when this comes to Australia, I probably will add it for at least a couple, 3 of my devices. And what does it actually cover? Unlimited accidental damage repairs, drops, spills with reduced deductible. So if you're the sort of person that drops your phone in the toilet, I've definitely never done that. Or your AirPods in the toilet, definitely never done that. Then this is for you. 24/7 access to Apple experts, so chat, phone, and in-store. I don't think that means you can go to the store at 2 a.m., but you can call them or go on chat. Battery service, so when capacity drops below 80%, that's a pretty good feature Because even though the battery replacement isn't super expensive, if you've had a device like an iPhone or an iPad for more than about 5 years, you'll know that it drops. Problem is, are you going to add an old device that's over 5 years to this plan, and just so that you get a free battery replacement when it goes under 80%? I don't know. You'd have to weigh it up, because the battery replacement is about $65 to $85 depending on the device. You get theft and loss coverage. Now extends to iPads and Apple Watches. So the theft and loss used to really only be around laptops and iPhones with AppleCare Plus. Now you actually get that with iPads and Apple Watches as well. Automatic coverage transfer on trade-ins, and devices up to 4 years old can be added 1 year for headphones. So that answers your question. That answers the question I just gave myself about would you do this if you had a 5-year-old device? You can't. So interestingly, they're like, we'll give you free battery replacement when it goes under 80%, but it's got to be less than 4 years old, which is kind of different, isn't it? So what you want to do is add in your devices when they're 3 years and 11 months old, and then hope that the battery drops under 80% after that. So what about cost comparisons? So if you are comparing it, it's probably about the same for most devices. It might cost more if you only have a few lower cost devices, but if you have higher, and this is the thing, if you're rocking an iPhone SE, an iPad 8th gen, and a MacBook Air Intel model, you're not caring about this. It's for me, and it's for you and the people like Jade and people like Thomas who have got a modern Mac, a modern phone, a modern iPad, and you want to cover yourself. So it works out being cheaper if you did it on the individual basis. So if you actually covered one, it would. So there's a comparison here that if you got the 3 of the most expensive devices, an iPhone 16 Pro, a Vision Pro, and a 12.9-inch iPad Pro, under AppleCare Plus, you'd be paying $47 a month, compared to $19.99 a month under AppleCare One. So if you have literally the 3 most expensive items you could possibly think of, then it's a great deal. And that's the thing, and it goes down from there. Because you pay less for AppleCare Plus based on the value of the device, it is really only if you've got higher end devices that this is going to make sense. Some pros and cons. Pros is a simplified single plan. So like Apple One, it's just everything together. And if you're like me, you like that. So I don't use Apple News or Apple Games or Apple Fitness, can you tell? Very much. But I do use Apple Music, I do use Apple TV, and I do use Apple's iCloud storage. So for me, to buy Apple TV, Apple Music, and iCloud storage costs more than the Apple One subscription. So this is what they're hoping, that people will look at the a la carte and they'll go, too hard, let's just bundle it all together with AppleCare One. And that's good, but what it means is you can't start remove. So if I just go, actually, I don't really need Apple Music, I'm going to pull that out because I've got YouTube Music. Or if I go, Ted Lasso's finished now, baby, there's no severance for another year, I'm going to stop my Apple TV subscription. I would probably do that if I was a la carte and only be paying the lesser amount. But because I'm a lazy bugger, I just leave it on because it's easier to just have Apple One on the whole time. Theft and loss extended to more devices, as we talked about, and the transfers with your trade-ins. And the cons is deductibles apply per incident. So the fine print is that there are deductibles. So it's like insurance policy. It's like, I'm completely covered. And it's like, no, you have to pay $50 every time something happens. Limited to 3 claims per year and linked to one Apple ID. So yeah, you can't just say my iPhone, my wife's iPad, and my kid's MacBook. It's all got to be registered under the one Apple ID. So there you go. So what is it? It's for people that have, it's for people like me, it's for people that have a lot of Apple devices, are always buying and upgrading Apple devices, use them on the daily, and want to make sure that if anything happens to any of them, they're replaced as quickly as possible without too many questions being asked. So is it going to be for you? I don't know. Let me know. If you're, especially if you're in the US and you're considering this, do let me know. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And yes, please boop the like if you would be so kind. My iPad need a screen protector or something. What do you recommend, Pete? Anyone? Most iPad cases are sufficient, to be honest. And because most people aren't using their iPad on the go as much as they are an iPhone, I have used screen protectors on iPads before. I find them a bit weird. Like having a big surface like that with a screen protector, I find a bit weird. What I would say is either get yourself a case that completely covers it. So like a Magic Keyboard or the Logitech Folio, they both work really well. Or if you're going with a iPad cover, get one that has bumpers around the edge so that it actually pops out in front so that if it does fall or drop or something, the corners and the screen are protected. Or even better, a folio type case that actually folds closed, because that's the best way. And the beauty of a folio case anyway is then you can fold it under and make it like a stand. So I used to use, when my kids had the old iPad 9.7 inches, like the first, second, third, fourth gen iPads, then I used to use it, a screen protector. Since then, I haven't. Plus, it's almost impossible. You know how hard it is to get a bubble-free? I mean, you can't really see it. Well, you can. Yes, you can actually. Look at this screen protector on this phone. This is only put on like a couple of months ago. It's got bubbles, it's got cracks, it's got, yeah. So imagine that on your iPad. It's almost impossible to get a good fitting iPad protector. Well, yeah, that's a good question. With AppleCare, would you pick the most expensive devices or the most vulnerable? You'd have to weigh it up, wouldn't you? Because you could say, hey, my Apple Watch isn't as expensive as my Mac, but what's the chances of something happening to my Mac Studio that's literally sitting on my desk that never moves versus my watch that I smack into poles as I'm walking around in my daily life more often than I care to admit? Yeah, it's an interesting question, Paul. You've got all the interesting questions. All right. Jump on. Oh, yeah. Someone's told me to watch Slow Horses. I tried. It was ironically a bit slow, so I didn't finish it. But Silo, and there's that one which is like a superhero robot man show that people said is good. So yeah, if you've got recommendations, double. We've got a second on Silo from Tremor Bear. Hello Bear. So yeah, if you've got Apple TV things, do let me know. That's what it was. Thank you, Michael, who has found the CGW question. I have a question about GarageBand. When naming a project, I'm trying to remove the band part, but every time I do it, it doesn't seem to save. What do you recommend doing? You can't. I think Jade's already answered this. You can't do that because Apple will no longer recognize it, and Apple needs that extension. You could technically do it if you sent the file somewhere in a zip file, opened it up, deleted the .band, and then saved it. But I can't think of a reason why you would ever want or need to do that. It doesn't make it compatible with anything else. It doesn't mean you can transfer it. So, short answer to that one is no, you can't, and you wouldn't want to, because it will corrupt. Well, it won't corrupt the file, but even if you could remove it, if you tried to open it in GarageBand, it wouldn't open. You'd then have to add the .band back on. And if you're thinking of doing it to transfer it from, say, one device to another, just zip it up. In fact, let's show you that now. Let's show you how to zip it. So, the question here is, let's come out of there. So if you've got, and I don't think I even have my extensions on when I have my files here. So can you actually view options? I think you can show file name extensions. So by default, file name extensions aren't even on there. And I don't tend to have them on there because I only use a very small portion of files, but you can come into your view options and you can turn on file extensions. So what they're talking about is this here. So if we tap and hold on this and rename, let's see, okay, why can't I see rename? There it is. Rename and try to remove the .band. Are you sure you want to remove .band? If so, we'll change your document. And yeah, so it won't work with things. I'm going to find I'll do this one instead because this is just something I did for a tutorial, my funky alert tone. In fact, I'll duplicate it first so it won't break anything. So if we duplicate that out, and let's just do it to this one. So we'll rename it, and we'll show you what's going to happen. So we'll delete the .band. Yes, remove it. And whoops. Has it done anything? Yeah, so now it just says package 1.3. So it's not actually opening that. Although this one's not actually, they're opening GarageBand, it says there. Does it say that with this one? No. So that's all it's going to do. It's going to say, now it's going to say package. And this one that has the .band says GarageBand project. It gives you the option to open in GarageBand. Whereas this one that doesn't have the .band, it's now just a data file. And can we resurrect it if we wanted to? Let's just see. It should work if we just rename it and put the .band back. But again, all of it, I wouldn't recommend doing any of this. Your only thing you're really going to do, yes, add, is potentially corrupt your files and make them not work. Okay, so it came back to life, so we can reopen it. But yeah, if you wanted to actually transfer this and you're having problems with it not opening because it's not recognizing the format, all you need to do in that case is tap and hold and come down to compress. And that's going to create a zip file or folder of that, and then use this zip folder to send it to someone else. I use this when I send them to Jade and to anyone I'm collaborating with, and then they open it at their end, they hit the button, it extracts the .band file onto their iPad or iPhone, and they're good to go. So that's the way you do it. Let's just delete these out because I'll confuse myself. Okay, why do I have all these versions? But yeah. But if you do have more, if you're actually trying to do something and work around something, do let me know. But wouldn't recommend it. Don't mess with file names in your things. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what you would. Just finished watching Mr. Robot on Netflix. Loved it. The weird psychological stuff. I do like it. Question from Al Davis: is a brick wall limiter required for a track before exporting, even if everything's mixed at a decent level? Not always. So a brick wall limiter, for those that don't know, is exactly what it sounds like. You set the limit and then it will make sure that no sound goes above that. Now, the benefit of that is that if you, say you've got your final mix, everything's mixed at a good level, you might find that your peaks are not reaching quite up to 0 dB or -1 or -0.1, whatever you want to set your upper threshold to with your limiter. So in that case, it'll bring things up. The other thing that a limiter can do, though, is without going over, without clipping or distorting, it can pull up the bottom end. So that's why we talk about, like, if you over compress and over limit a master or a final mix, you get the sausage waveform, because it goes from having the nice ups and downs, the nice dynamic range, to putting the brick wall at the top. So all your loud bits don't get any louder, but it pulls up the quieter bits. And that's where you get that Death Magnetic, Metallica, Foo Fighters, all those bands that just sausage waveform it. So do you need a brick wall limiter? You don't need one. Is it a good idea to put one on as a bit of an insurance policy? Yeah. But the thing is, it won't really save. So a brick wall limiter won't really save you if you've already got things at too high a volume. So you would have heard, if you watched YML yesterday, there was an example of a song, there were a couple of songs actually, that had that every time the kick and the snare drum hit, the guitars and the vocals ducked down. So that's what the limiter, that when you're over limiting, that's what you hear. So yeah, you can do it with your eyes and you can look for the sausage waveform and you can look for your peaks, but you also have to listen to it. Because if you find that it's going up and down and pumping, that's because you're over compressing and over limiting. So short answer, no. Full answer, yes. But again, it's not even that you have to do it when you're exporting, if you're using, say, GarageBand or Logic, but you may want to master it, either using Logic's mastering or just a limiter, like pulling it out as a WAV file and then putting a limiter on it. It can just change it around. And I've done videos on this and showed you this in things like Audio Share before. So let's just fire up the old Audio Share and I'll show you. So this is an example. So you can see here that this track is peaking, it's up there. But if I wanted to limit this more aggressively, I could, and these little lines here would all be pulled up and it would be more filled in. But this is a good amount of dynamic range. It's still hitting up to close to 0 dB. So if these were only going half height, you'd be like, no, we need to increase the volume, need to use a limiter for that. But yeah, it's about the right thing. Do I have any other examples? No, that's not a WAV file. Yeah, so here's another one. You can see this has probably been overdone. See how it's squared off like that? yeah, that's something that you need to keep an eye out for. If you're seeing those square and here's an example of one that probably needs to be limited and lifted. So this one, those peaks, like there's only one peak there. So this one, a limiter would be good because it would only squash these couple of little places. It wouldn't remove all your dynamic range, but it would pull up all the rest of it. So that's my thoughts and advice on that one. It is. It should be the final stage. And it's worth mentioning that GarageBand iOS, as you've heard me rant about before, has auto normalization, which is designed to just pull it up to make it sort of more radio ready kind of overall maximum volume, but can also have the unintended consequence of making it pumpy and gross, because it's supposed to protect you against things being too loud or too quiet. But when they're too quiet, it's fine. It just pulls it up. But when it's too loud, it actually compresses it. It actually has a limiter as opposed to just normalizing the volume, which is no good. All right, see. I just watched Triumph from the 1983 US Festival. That's a deep cut, Dan Steely. Good job. The US Festival, wasn't that Steve Wozniak? Didn't he start the US Festival and like fund it and all that sort of stuff? Very cool. Very cool stuff. All right. Let's finish with some fun, shall we? Let's jump over to slaps.com because why not? And I haven't even gone and listened to any of the 8-bar challenge songs, but I know there are some there. So we are going to jump there. If you want to play along at home, or if you're not aware of what the 8-bar challenge is, go check out 2 weeks ago. We did an episode of GarageBand Weekly where I created a song. I'll play that for you here. I've actually forgotten what it was. Oh, look, Mark's posted one an hour ago. All 7s and 8s. Oh, okay. We'll get to that one. So we'll go in reverse order here. We'll come on down to find my OG. There's our mate Mark Bro. Alexander's there. Let's find. So here's mine. My man with many arms here. The 8-bar challenge for 2025. So mine sounded like. Sometimes I'm down and I got no reason. Sometimes I stop. Sometimes the little things make me cry. Sometimes I stop. Oh yeah. Sometimes I just the turn of the season. Sometimes I stop. I don't know what and I don't know why. Sometimes I stop. I stop. That's Thomas's from last time. Let's play it anyway. It's fun.
It's an 8-bar song, an 8-bar song, an 8-bar song. It's how long? It's an 8-bar song, an 8-bar song. What bar this song's about halfway gone? It's an 8-bar song, an 8-bar song, an 8-bar song. That's not that long. It's an 8-bar song, an 8-bar song. That's the words played back and sing along. All right.
This is the fun of doing 8-bar songs, is that they can be quick and brief and fun. Let's take a listen to this one. This is Alexander Dean Francis, a 7-track version of my song for Pete John's 8-bar challenge. I still had to add the vocals at 8th track. Also, we might have an updated version of this. We'll listen to this one anyway. This is the beauty part of these. They're so quick. That's super rad. That sounds like it should be the start of like a sports talk show. Do you reckon? Let's just play it again. It's time for the Dingo and Ranger Football Hour. You're tuned in live. Today on the show we're talking to running back Dion the Dong Donson with your hosts Dingo and Runga. Here they are. Oh dear. Sometimes I'm sorry. I got some new ears. Dear oh dear. Let's take a listen to Mark Bro. He's got the Celtic Cross, a bit of Julian pipes and choir feel, 8 bars, 8 tracks, and an hour of work. All right, let's take a listen to Mark. That's cool. I do love that a lot of folks choose different time signatures. You might have seen that originally I tried to create a 7/8 piece in GarageBand, which didn't work out at all. But when you're doing an 8-bar thing, it's a good opportunity to try out some different sorts of time signatures. Dear oh dear, the cough keeps coming back, but only briefly and only when I'm doing this show. All right, this is from Jan de Blues, my first 8-bar challenge. My first attempt at the 8-bar challenge used GarageBand for Mac, instruments Mellotron, Dream Voice Synth, BBC Symphony Percussion, Spiacto Bass, and Tubular Bells, and the free Alpha Synth. I made it for the leader of a film that was never made. Oh, I like it. Let's play it. Again, it sounds all these songs sound like they would be perfect for TV or for movies. Like, it's amazing that seems to be the theme that everyone kind of went with this. Oh, here's Alexander. Why am I following Alexander? Here's Alexander Dean Francis's. Oh, that's attempt 2. I'm saving 2 for vocals now. Oh, so he's got a different version of this. Let's see what he's done with it. Oh, this is definitely 80s sitcom. See, that's when Dingo and Waller from the Football Hour started their own sitcom where they're like an odd couple. He's really neat. The other guy's a slob. Oh, and they have 3 small babies. How will they survive in this wacky house together? Find out on Dingo and Fragger. I think I change their names every time. Hey, it's Michelle. Michelle's going to shout. Shout it, Michelle.
Go. I want to rock. I want to roll.
Nice. Oh, we're going back to the last one. No, stop it. Going back in time. I don't have my comments working properly here. All right, let's... that was Michelle. Oh, do we finally have the vocals? Attempt 2 with vocals. All right, what is it anything like what I did?
Where did she go? Nobody's seen her. Does anyone know where she could be? It's not solved. Complete mystery. I miss the American dream.
American Dream too. Yeah, it's definitely got a vibe of TV show stuff. Mark, what has Mark Sundram done here? Inspired by Pete John's 8-bar challenge. False start with the 7/8 loop. I decided to do one in 7/8. Cool. I recorded with my relatively new to me electric upright bass for the first time and used session players in Logic. Awesome. All right, let's see what Mark's done, Mr. Rockin' Pneumonia.
6s and 7s, no way to get you ever. Don't wanna be late, but I'm at 7s and 8s. I'm trying 8 ways to Sunday to see if I could find a way. There's no way to cheat the fates. I'm stuck at 7 and 8s.
That's super cool. I love it. See? This is why we do the 8-bar challenge every 6 months. I didn't realize I'd done one this year. And then we did another one. But this is why it's cool. Because, yeah, Mark's gone, that was a cool sort of false start with the 7/8 one. I'm going to do a 7/8 one. And then that's it. That's what we got. Very cool. So thank you to Mark, to Alexander, to Michelle, to Alexander again, to Jan de Bluis, to Mark Bro. All very cool stuff. And if you would like to share a 8-bar challenge track, you are welcome to do so. Oh, it doesn't really work. My ears, they've got green bits there. Oh, it's yellow actually, but yeah, these are my bluey ears. Just found them this morning. chucked them on. Said to the kids before they went to school, "Oh, do you dare me to do a show with these?" And they just sort of looked at me like, "Huh? We don't care." All right. We are coming towards the end of the show. A couple of quick housekeeping things. Don't forget that coming up right now, in fact,
Back in
let's
the day.
do a little live look-in, is our mate Frank Turzo. And he's actually got Rhett from the Mix Club as his guest on the show today. So let's take a look.
Really?
He was asking me, he was asking me if it's worth any money. Man, it played like ass. You know,
There you go. Go over and check out Rhett, because I could just listen to him talk all day. He's got the coolest accent. So that'll be coming up for you right after this. You can jump on over to there. Next weekend, we've got the usual selection. We're going to have a podcast, of course, on Friday or Thursday evening, if that is your time zone. We're also going to do Happy Hour, Your Music Live, and GarageBand Weekly, all at the usual times and all live. So thank you, everyone, for last week, where we were changing dates and we had some pre-records. And yeah, it's been a bit of a hectic couple of weeks on the channel due to some just life stuff. Went to the snow, as you know, kids going back to school, just juggling a few things at the moment. But everything's cool. And like I say, life is just always that, isn't it? In the world of YouTube, it's there's little ups and little downs. You just try to keep the ups and the downs as level as possible, and it's a good thing. If you haven't already hit the like button, I've got to do my YouTuber thing and ask you to hit the like before we finish up here. If you're watching on the replay and you've got any questions, feel free to ask those. Just put a big Q in front of your question. The other question we had recently, which I'm making a video on at the moment, and this is an important one, is if you're an artist and you're putting your music onto YouTube, you can actually, through DistroKid and through other means, create an artist channel. So we had a question yesterday about creating an artist channel. Can you go back to a topic channel? So I'm just going to finish up with this one. Thank you, Dan Steely. Appreciate you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Thomas, for the link. I'm just going to finish up with this one because I wanted to let you know that if you want to create your own YouTube artist channel, you can. The problem, though, is you can't go back. So let's give you an example of this. So if I search my name, Pete Johns, you will see this. You'll see that I have my channel here, Pete Johns Studio Live Today. It's got a tick there because I'm verified, because I'm a good boy, and that's my tutorial channel. This is my topic channel. So I have a separate topic channel, which is my music. Now, I don't get any control over this. As you can see, I can't put a banner, I can't change anything, I can't do anything with this because it's a topic channel. This is created automatically. And you can see there it's got 63 videos, but that's just the 63 releases that I've put through DistroKid. So they go out here to my own topic channel. And that's how it'll work for you too. Once you've released your second release, so at the start, it puts it on the various artist topic channel for your first release in case you only ever release one. And then second, it creates your own topic channel. If I wanted to, I could merge this one with my Pete Johns Studio Live Today channel. Why would I not do that? I want to make sure that this is my tutorial channel, and this is where people go for live streams and video tutorials. Yes, I do put some of my music on here, and yes, I do my happy hour shows on this channel as well, but if I change this to my artist channel, YouTube will flag it as a music channel as opposed to a tutorial channel, and it could impact my ability to get my tutorial videos seen. If you have your own, if all you're doing is music, then by all means, combine your channels. If you want to keep that separation, leave it as a topic channel, separate from your channel, because you can't change it back afterwards. And the other thing that you could do is create a new channel. So I could create a Pete Johns Music YouTube channel and use that to create my artist channel. So start putting some videos on a Pete Johns Music channel and then combine that with my topic channel so that I can keep it separate. But if I combine them, once you go official artist channel, you can never go back. And thank you to Jade Starr, who did some of the research for me on that one. And we had a chat about it yesterday, and I'll do a video on it. But just so that if you're thinking about it, yeah, think twice or three times before you pull the trigger on it. That's going to do it for this one, folks. Please, as we say at the end of each and every show, be kind to yourselves, Be kind to others. Keep creating. And I'll see you next time here on GarageBand Weekly. Bye for now. See ya.